Hello everyone, I am Miss Arina and today's topic is types of sentences. Okay, now let's talk about types of sentences. There are 4 types of sentences in English: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and complex compound sentence. Every sentence contains of dependent or independent clause. An independent clause can form a complete sentence standing alone, having a subject and a predicate. For example, Jim studied in the sweet shop for his chemistry quiz. A dependent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb but does not express a complete thought. Usually starts with a conjunction. I went out on the bike that Mary gave me for my birthday. Now let's look at each of type in details. Simple sentence, one independent clause. Tom, subject, sings, verb, well, object. The professor always comes to class fully prepared. Or, I enjoy sitting by the fireplace and reading. Compound sentence has 2 or more independent clauses. I drink green tea, but they drink coffee. He plays soccer, but she prefers swimming. They study hard, so they get good grades. Coordinating conjunctions: F, for, A, and, N, nor, B, but, O, or, Y, yet, S, so, or shortly you can remember it as fan voice. Complex sentence has an independent clause and at least one dependent. When he was young, he wanted to be a football player. Although Jewel has traveled the world since she was a teenager, she still hasn't found a place to call home. Mary hasn't reached out to her college friends since graduation. Subordinating conjunctions: when a sentence begins with a dependent clause, a comma separates the 2 clauses. Although Meg was annoyed, comma, she remained silent. Complex compound sentence has 2 independent clauses and 1 or more dependent. When I got home, nobody was there, so I called my mom, who was at work. Although I like to go hiking, I haven't had the time to go lately, and I haven't found anyone to go with. Joe waited for the train. Joe, subject, waited, verb. The train was late. The train, subject, was, verb. Mary and Samantha arrived at the bus station early, but waited until noon for the bus. Mary and Samantha is subject. Arrived and waited, verb. Now let's look at commas in compound sentences. Now tell me, is the coordinating conjunction is connecting 2 independent clauses? Look, Jason looked in the mirror but could not see himself. And no, the conjunction is connecting 2 verbs: looked at, could not see. And here, look, Jason looked in the mirror but he couldn't see himself. Here, answer is yes. Good. The conjunction but is connecting 2 independent clauses. Okay, and here we have a comma. Okay, Joe waited for the train, but the train was late. I looked for Mary and Samantha at the bus station, but they arrived at the station before noon and left on the bus before I arrived. Mary and Samantha arrived at the bus station before noon and they left on the bus before I arrived. Mary and Samantha left on the bus before I arrived, so I didn't see them at the bus station. Another one small tip. When the dependent clause comes first, a comma should be used to separate two clauses. Look, because Mary and Samantha arrived at the bus station before noon, comma, I did not see them at the station. Second one, while he waited at the train station, comma, Joe realized that the train was late. After they left on the bus, Mary and Samantha realized that Joe was waiting at the train station. Good. There were lots of people queuing to get into the park, comma, so I used the secret side entrance and met Jenny for our picnic on time. The beautiful sunflowers were beginning to wilt, comma, but Jemera wasn't worried because he knew that they would bloom again next year. Since Aisling is allergic to wheat, she couldn't have any of the bread rolls, comma, but she was more than happy to eat the delicious leek and potato soup on its own. Good. And now we'll do a little practice. Here you should state whether these sentences are simple, complex, or compound. We were playing in the garden when the guests arrived. She put on her coat and went out. I can't figure out what he wants. You don't look happy to see me. The cat saw the puppies playing in the garden. She leaned out of the window. You shouldn't have done this to me. They tried very hard, but they couldn't win the match. Who let the cat in? Although it was raining, we went for a walk. Don't forget to put pause and do your exercise. Okay, and now let's check. We were playing in the garden when the guests arrived. It's complex sentence. She put on her coat and went out. Compound sentence. I can't figure out what he wants. Complex sentence. You don't look happy to see me. Simple sentence. The cat saw the puppies playing in the garden. Simple sentence. She leaned out of the window. Simple sentence. You shouldn't have done this to me. Simple sentence. They tried very hard, but they couldn't win the match. Compound sentence. Who let the cat in? Simple sentence. Although it was raining, we went for a walk. Complex sentence. Okay, very good. Here you should combine these parts to make a logical compound complex sentence. First, although I drank a lot of coffee. Second, and I don't think I'll make it through the movie. And third, I am getting sleepy. And here you should choose one answer. A, although I drank a lot of coffee, comma, and I don't think I'll make it through the movie, comma, I am getting sleepy. And B1, although I drank a lot of coffee, comma, I am getting sleepy, comma, and I don't think I'll make it through the movie. Okay, don't forget to put pause. And now let's check it. Let's go. And here is the right answer is B. Although I drank a lot of coffee, I'm getting sleepy. And I don't think I'll make it through the movie. Okay, very good. And in this task, please combine these parts to make a logical compound complex sentence. The nebula could harm the ship. We must push through it. The alien refugees need our help. And one answer, A. We must, since the alien refugees need our help, push through the nebula, even though it could harm our ship. And B. Even though the nebula could harm our ship, we must push through it. The alien refugees need our help. Don't forget to put the pause. And now let's check it. The answer is B1. Even though the nebula could harm our ship, we must push through it. The alien refugees need our help. And that's all for today. Thank you and bye-bye.